it started? Okay. It's just starting. This guy's over here going 3, 2, 1.
Oh, we're on. Are we on? Oh, we are on. Okay. Good morning.
Hello.
Happy 1 o'clock.
Happy 1 o'clock. We feel like we're in Groundhog. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. We were talking about what I should do for this video today. And I thought maybe I should just do the exact same thing I did yesterday and show you where we really haven't moved a whole lot further from what we had done yesterday, but we made a little progress. So we had yesterday started with the Abbey Rose collection. Let me turn around. Oh, the light definitely makes a difference. Let me turn this around. And we decided to get a little more organized today. So we've got the whole front cabinet is now full of the Abbey Rose. And I wanted to show you, we actually numbered the bolts so that you can see them all. And then I thought I would put some pictures of these up on the in my comment field. So if you like any of them and you need any of them, they're all numbered. Hello, everybody. Rita, Jean, Nina, Marty, Marsha. I love you guys. You're watching. Yay! I also have some rayons, which are super beautiful. But what I wanted to show you today was the patterns. So here's one. Lots of triangles, a medallion quilt. Here's another one. And in a minute, I'm actually going to do a little demonstration. Yep, I'm actually going to sew for you, which I'm pretty excited about, of how to do some simple shortcuts with this one. And then actually this one is my favorite pattern. It's called Constance. Isn't that pretty? I love how it really showcases the fabric. And I love the plaids in it. I think the plaids, the little plaids are really cute. So here they are in the fabric again. Isn't that cute? I love this fabric. Hi, Janet. Okay, so that's the fabric line I wanted you to get a little bit closer look of. And then I wanted to show you that our store is probably like your home. You're not getting done as much as you thought you would. So our fabric is still on the cart there. It's still on the cart there. But I wanted you to see this. We showed this yesterday, but I wanted you to see it all.
How big it is.
How big it is. Joyce, go walk over there.
It's bigger than Joyce.
It's bigger than Joyce. Joyce is laid down. Look how weirdo she is. It's little Joyce. Anyway, yesterday, this many people, a lot of people got excited about that panel. It was so fun. So that's all going to go to someone's home. Also wanted to show you that we have the pickup bin over here. So we keep having people that come and pick up every day. We've had lots of little pickups, which we love. Thank you. So there's our bin waiting to be picked up. We also checked in a couple of machines today. So if your machine is not doing what it's supposed to do, it has started. Sue, join us. Yes. Hi, Pam. So Joyce is folding up the panel. That's a quarter of the panel. Hi, Kay. Hi, Joan. So what I thought I would do today, just to make it be a little more interesting than me just wandering around the store, which is pretty fun, is that I would actually show you one of my favorite tools. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to have one of my lovely, we miss you too, Mary. Hi, Robert. Hi, Bert.
Hello. I have to figure out how to switch this around. Hi, everybody. All right.
Okay.
We'll keep it upright.
So I'm going to show you my favorite tool. So my most favorite tool, actually, that I've had for years and years, and for those of you who know me, probably know what it is already, but it's triangle paper. So triangle paper is a way to really accurately, really fast make triangles. And what's cool about it, sorry, I'm back and forth.
We might invest in a microphone at some point.
Yes, I probably will need a microphone. But what's cool about it is that it works perfectly. A 4-inch triangle comes on a roll like this. Okay?
Ta-da!
So it has tons on it. Each roll has, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of triangles on it. It comes in every dimension from 1 inch to 6 inches and half and quarter-inch increments. So 1.5 inch finished, 2 inch finished, 3 inch finished, 3.5 inch finished, all that. 4 inch is probably my favorite because it goes really fast and it's a really nice size. So if you are starting with a layer cake, so I'm going to make this hopscotch happy. Can you zoom in on that?
Ooh,
Isn't that
lovely.
super
Look
cute?
at the quilt. Oh, they're super cute.
Yeah, and then I love it in the different sizes. Can you see all the different sizes?
Lots of options.
Yeah, right.
Different layouts.
Yeah. So the half square triangles is all of these corners. Every one of these corners is a 4-inch finished half square triangle. So what the pattern says to do, it says to start with a 5-inch square, which is not going to end up with a 4-inch finished triangle. And I don't like having to trim things back down after I sew them. I don't like handling things twice. So anytime I see something that uses triangles, I convert it. I just like ignore what they tell me to do. I'm going to do it my way. And my way is with the paper. So first thing we do is we have our layer cake, which has 40 different beautiful, and of course, Abbey Rose fabrics. Can you see them all? They're all in here. I actually need to open it up. And then you choose a background print. And the background that I chose is just this really nice creamy white to go with it. Oh, this is fun to open.
It's like unboxing.
It is.
It's an unboxing video. Yay!
All right, so I'm doing that, and I'm going to pick a darker color because a lot of the corners are dark. So I'm going to pick, ooh, that one's pretty. I like that one. Isn't that pretty?
Lovely.
Okay, so then we have our 40 squares for our quilt, and on the back of the pattern, one layer cake will make a lap size or a twin size quilt, 70 by 86 and a half. So one layer cake will make that. If you want to make a queen, you'd need 2 layer cakes, and a king would also need 2 layer cakes. So it's really cool that you can get one layer cake gives you a lot of fabric. Then I cut off a 10-inch piece off of my background fabric, and to cut into 10-inch squares for my background, I like to just cut 10-inch strips. Then I just turn them on their side, fold them. So here's my salvage to salvage. Fold them, line the cut edge on my mat, which is really worn out. You can tell we use these mats a lot. And then I'm going to cross cut at the 10-inch and at the 20-inch, or just 10 inches apart. And now I've got 4 10-inch squares. Okay, so that's going to match up with this, and it's going to match up with my piece of triangle paper. So the way that the triangle paper works is if you were doing lots and lots of them, you could make your cut here and go from one end of the fabric to another. But when you start with a layer cake, you want to have just the amount that's going to fit on top of the layer cake. There's 2 different ways to cut it. If you can envision, I can cut it like this for my square, and it creates an X. So if I do that, I actually have to sew and stop sewing, and then sew and stop sewing. If I make it so that it's a square like this, I can just sew in a circle, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So I'm going to sew around the inner circle, I'm going to cross over, and then sew around the outer circle. I never have to take my fabric out of the sewing machine. I just stitch the whole thing. It's very fast. So you're going to get to watch me. By sewing 2 circles around this, I'm going to end up with 8 perfect half square triangles. It makes me very happy. Okay, so we want to make sure we put our fabrics right sides together. So there is my fabric there, and here's the right side of there. And it's okay if they don't match up exactly. I started on the edge of the fabric, so I didn't square up my fabric when I started, and that's just fine, because what matters is that we sew on the line of our paper. So see how my paper fits just inside the perimeter. Can you see that I'm on top all the way around? And I'm going to use a couple of pins just to keep the paper from shifting when I get started. I don't usually pen, but with this I do, because this piece of paper is slippery, and it's easy for it when you're first starting for it to shift a little bit. And with the 10-inch square, you don't have a lot of margin on the outsides. So you can see that it's close to edge of my fabrics, so I don't want it to shift even a little bit, because I would hate for me to run out of fabric on that side. Okay, now I'm going to go over to the sewing machine.
Here we go. Libby Van Treese's students think it looks familiar.
Yes, for those of you who know me, this is my most favorite tool. Okay, Bernina, and one of the reasons why I like being on the Marina, on the Marina, if you like that, on the Bernina when I am using triangle paper, is because of the knee lift. I really like using the knee lift when I pivot and turn my corners. A lot of machines do have the auto pivot function, which also works really well. But with the auto pivot, you have to wait for it to raise and lower it, and I like to...
A speeder.
Right, yeah. Okay, so there are lines, and I'm always go against the grain, so it tells me to sew this way, but I'm sewing this way. It doesn't really matter which direction you put it in. I could start on this line, or I could start on this line. But my goal is to stitch on every dashed line. So I'm going to stitch, I'm going to pivot around here, stitch, pivot around, and you'll see me do it. And then I'll cross over, and I'll come and do the inside the same way. So I'll go ahead and start. Oh, one other thing. When I do triangle paper, I always like to stitch them to shorten my stitch length to 2.0 just to help perforate the paper a little bit more. So I turned my, I dialed my stitch length down to 2.0. And once I'm out in this margin, it doesn't matter where I go. See how I'm out in the margin and I'm not really caring about where I go? Then I'm going to turn, and I'm using my knee lift to raise and lower my foot. And I'm just going right down the line. Oh, this machine's so smooth. I love it.
It is, and it's got such bright lights.
Oh, it does. Oh, one more stitch. There we go. And it doesn't matter if you go inside or outside. I actually crossed over into the inner square. I wasn't paying attention, but you can cross over. You just have to go around twice. And just keep pivoting.
Hi, Judy.
I know, isn't it fun to see everyone
It
pop
is.
on? It's like,
and
hi.
Janet and Julie and Libby. Hello, hello.
Okay, and keep coming. Is this not the coolest? Have you ever sewn triangles together this fast before? Oops, I overshot my line by 1. So I'm going to just raise my needle because I overshot my line by 1. Raise up, raise up. Oh, that's my foot. There we go. Nope. There we go. Okay, now I'm back down. If you overshoot your line, just come back over because it's over in the seam allowance. And I'm almost done.
Thanks, Pam. Pam says you're so clever.
All right. And
We're zooming.
I'm zooming and I'm at the end. So I'm going to use my scissors. It's going to raise my needle, raise my foot. Oh, I skipped one. Boo. I didn't see what I was doing. I skipped. Here's one more.
It's a good thing triangle paper is pretty easy.
I was like, that dash doesn't have anything stitched on it. All right, now I've got them all. When I flip it over, I will see. Oh, you can barely see because my
Let's
fabric's
see.
so white, but you can see how there's 2 concentric stitches all the way around. Everybody see that?
Yes.
I know it's
Lovely.
really light thread.
Well-
this is a demo lesson. It's actually use contrasting thread when I show you this stuff. So
It's
you can
true.
see what's
We'll
going
use
on.
red next time.
Yes. Okay, so everything is stitched. Wasn't that fast? All those bias edges done just like that. Coming back over to the cutting mat.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Gotta come fast, baby.
Hard to keep up with you, man.
You can tell that I'm not a professional.
We are working on it.
But you know what? This is as much entertainment for us as it is for you. So I hope that you're learning something in this process.
We have
It's
some
really
people who are going to adopt this, it sounds like.
the best. It's the best. Okay. So now I have solid lines, and so I sewed on all the dash lines, and I did not follow the arrows. I just made sure I went around twice. And now I'm going to cut on all the solid lines, including my outside perimeter. So I'm going to cut both sides. And then I'm going to rotate and cut both sides the other way. If you have a rounder mat, this is a really good use for it. The ones, the Brooklyn Revolvers or the, yeah, the ones that spin. I have one, but I didn't get it out.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right over there.
It's over there. We might use it another day. We've got a lot of supplies in here, but it depends on which one we want to use.
Do you have that where you have equipment in your sewing room and you're just like, I'm just not even gonna bother getting it. Even though it makes your life easy.
If we were doing hundreds of triangles right now, we would do this.
Yes, we would. Joyce was good. Oh, I thought she was gonna bring it over to me. She was taking pity on me. She was like, use the revolver.
We just have the ironing surface on. And
Oh, we don't have the other one on the upside. Okay, never mind.
All right,
All right. Well, that's why we're not using it.
back to the lines.
Yeah, back to the lines. Okay, so now I'm going to cross cut the center, and I'm going to cross cut this way. And then I'm going to cut all the diagonals as well. I think one day that Joyce and I should have a race, and we should see who can from nothing to finished, who could make 8 half square triangles faster. Because she would do the AccuQuilt. I think we should do that for Facebook Live. Would you guys like to see that, where we actually have a true competition of which way is faster? Both are incredibly accurate.
They are.
There are different places in our world, but Joyce is the AccuQuilt.
Yes.
I do love my AccuQuilt.
Yes.
It's a wonderful tool.
Okay.
And Libby Van Treese says the slide lock is one of her favorite tools for triangle paper.
Oh, yes. She likes her slide lock because looking. Yes. So you can see now I've got all these half square triangles. So this is the cool part.
I love this part.
Yeah, so you take the paper, you tear to the line, and then you pull and pull. That's how fast the paper comes off. Super, super fast. Then what's even cooler is after you pull off all the paper, I won't do all of them, but I will show you, because this is really my favorite part too.
It's
pulling the paper off.
Tina's betting on Joyce in the AccuQuilt.
Hey, wait a second.
And Marcia's gonna do AccuQuilt. We'll see. All of Libby Van Treese's students are gonna do triangle paper with you, though.
I like the triangle paper. Okay, so there's 4 of them, and I've got 4 more, but 8 perfect half square triangles. Oh, and then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to iron them. I always, first you have to make sure your iron's turned back on.
Turn back on.
I'm going to iron them. Well, this iron's still kind of lukewarm. And I will say that one advantage to the AccuQuilt is that
You don't tear off the paper.
It does your dog ears for you.
That dog ears.
That too, both of them.
The
Look
dog
at the
ears.
dog ears.
Well, pulling the paper off is not an advantage to me because that's my favorite part. So I would be sad to give that part up. But cutting the dog ears is not my favorite part. So, but it's well worth it. If you're going to do these, you definitely want to cut your dog ears off. But look at this. Look how perfect they are. They're totally square. I know.
Beautiful.
And you get 4 of them. So for my quilt, where'd my pattern go?
Mhm.
Here it is.
It's buried under.
Yes. So I just made the 4 half square triangles for 1 block, and actually did it for 2 blocks with one piece of layer cake. So that's my demo for today. Wow, 17 minutes. That was a lot of entertainment. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
See you.